Welcome to the 5th session of the basic course on the end time. We've seen previously that the believers are taken to be raptured in 2 stages. The firstfruits at the beginning, and at a later time, the main harvest. The firstfruits are taken before the tribulation, while the main harvest is taken at the very end of the tribulation. What is often overlooked and is crucial to the rapture is the growth of the divine life within us. When we were born again, the seed of life was implanted into us in our spirit. That which is born of the Spirit is spirit. That seed needs to grow. As it grows, it spreads from our spirit into our soul. The divine life starts to move and work within us. And as it does, it renews our mind, transforms us, and Christ is formed within us, bit by bit. This is the Christian life. This is what God is doing within the Christians. The rapture is the consummation of that growth. First, Christ is sown into our spirit. He then grows into our soul. And when our soul is fully saturated with Christ, then the last remaining part of us is consumed by Him. That last remaining part is our body, and it will be changed. When Christ spreads from our soul into our body, that is like the blossoming of the divine life. The Christ who is within us will come out of us. That's the rapture. The rapture is the consummation of the growth of the divine life within us. It is the blossoming of the Christ who is within. It is not objective, but subjective. Christ was sown into our spirit when we were born again. He has been spreading into our soul, renewing our mind, transforming us, and being formed within us. Eventually, when He is fully grown within, when He's formed within us, He will blossom. He will spread from our soul to our bodies, and that will change us. That blossoming of the divine life within is Christ Himself being manifested. So many believers look for Christ to come for them from the heavens. Indeed, the Lord does come for Israel from the heavens, but this is not how He is coming for us believers. He is coming for us from within us. He wants to come forth from within us and to be manifested. Remember what the Apostle Paul said in Colossians. When Christ, who is our life, shall appear, then shall we appear with Him in glory. He didn't say, when Christ, who is in the heavens, shall be manifested or shall appear. He said, when Christ, who is our life, shall appear. Where is our life? Our life is not outside of us. Our life is within us. When Christ, who is our life, shall appear, then shall we appear with Him in glory. This is how Christ is coming for the believers. And this coming is in a secret way. If Christ is appearing for us from the heavens, this means we have not matured. Let us all gain Christ, seek Him, seek for that divine life within to grow, that we may be matured, and that when that day comes, He will come forth from within us, blossoming, shining out the glory of God from within. Remember what the Lord said in Matthew chapter 13. Then shall the righteous shine forth like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. That shining forth like the sun is Christ coming from within us. So then, the mature believers will be taken before the last 3.5 years. But when before that time? How long before that time? Actually, no one knows except the Father. Even the Lord does not know. Only the Father knows. It could be immediately before the 3.5 years. It could be a few days before, months before, or even years before. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in an hour from now. We just don't know. And so we must be ready. This is why the Lord said, be ready. Be ready. Why? Because we don't know when he will come from within. The ones who are not ready, the ones who have not matured, the ones who are unprepared for the Lord's coming will be left to mature during the last 3.5 years of this age. That will be an incredibly difficult time. We've seen God's judgments during that time. Consider what it will be like to live during that time. It will be a struggle just to survive. However, in his mercy towards the believers, God will have prepared a place for them to help them pass through that time. It will be a place in the wilderness, a place apart from everything of the world. During that time, all the worldly water that we have come to enjoy will be dried up within us. That last 3.5 years will be like an intense heat drying up the water. All of our loves of the world will disappear. Sports, amusements, entertainments, business, lusts, so many things of the world and of the flesh will be dried up during that time. Why? Because the world will be gone. God's judgment, which begin at the beginning of the last 3.5 years, will destroy the world. There will be no more sports, no more business, no more amusements, no more entertainments, no more religion for that matter. There will only be us and Christ. Recall how Israel spent 40 years in the wilderness. During that time, their tastes changed. Initially, they longed for the food of Egypt, the leeks, the garlic, onions, the strong-tasting Egyptian food. But over the years, their taste was changed. They ate manna, heavenly bread, and their taste changed from an Egyptian taste to a godly taste. So it will be during the last 3.5 years. The believers may long for the worldly things, but that time in the wilderness will change their tastes. There will be no more world. Their Egyptian taste will be changed into a godly taste. They will learn to appreciate, enjoy Christ, who is everything. And so, by the end of that last 3.5 years, the harvest of the main body of believers will be ready to reap. And the Lord will do so. He will take them to be with him. He will change their bodies and catch them up to the air. This will occur at the very last trumpet, the 7th trumpet. And there in the air, they will meet with the Lord. All the remaining believers will be changed and caught up to the air to be with the Lord. The word is clear. Those believers are not brought to heaven. They are brought to the air. And there, we all must stand before the judgment seat of Christ and give an account of what we have done while in our bodies. Whether it's good or bad, we must all give an account. If we are deemed faithful by the Lord, we will enter into his joy, receiving a reward, and take part in the wedding feast that will last 1,000 years. However, if we are judged unfaithful by the Lord, we will be put into outer darkness. There we will learn the lessons we should have learned in this age. We will learn the faithfulness that we lacked. Nevertheless, whether we are faithful and taken into the wedding feast, or unfaithful and left outside to mature, by the end of the millennium, all the believers will be fully grown. All of us will take part in the New Jerusalem for eternity. That is our destiny. That is something that cannot be undone. In this sense, once we have believed in the Lord, our eternal destiny is assured. If you have any questions or would simply like to converse, you can reach me at paul@aplaceinthewilderness.com. At the end of this video, you will find a timeline depicting the church during the end time. We will also provide a link to a downloadable copy of that timeline. You will find on that timeline all the crucial verses helping to understand what the believers will pass through during the last years.